Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my Slow English podcast. I'm Emily, and today we're talking about something very personal, very real, and something that almost every English learner struggles with. We're talking about speaking English without feeling afraid. If you've ever felt nervous, shy, embarrassed, or scared to open your mouth and speak, today's conversation is for you.
And I'm Mark. I think this might be one of our most important episodes because fear of speaking stops so many learners from improving. People study grammar, they study vocabulary, they listen, they read, but when it's time to speak, they freeze. Their heart beats fast. Their mind goes blank. They feel afraid to make mistakes.
Yes, and we want you to know something very important right from the start. You are not alone. Every learner feels this way. Even people who speak English very well still have moments of fear. Even I felt afraid when I was learning another language.
Emily, do you remember your first time speaking a foreign language to a native speaker?
Yes, I remember it very clearly. I practiced for so long, but when I finally had to speak, my voice was so quiet. I felt shy. I thought, what if they don't understand me? What if I sound strange? My hands were shaking a little.
I understand that so well. I felt the same way too. I think everyone does. Fear is not a sign that you're bad at English. It's just a sign that you care.
Yes, being afraid means you want to do well. It means English is important to you. So instead of fighting the fear, we want to explore it, understand it, and slowly let it become smaller. Let's talk about why learners feel afraid to speak. There are several common reasons.
The first reason is fear of making mistakes. Many learners think mistakes are bad. They think mistakes mean they failed.
But actually, mistakes are completely normal. They show that you're learning. Even native speakers make mistakes all the time. They forget words. They change sentences in the middle. They use imperfect grammar. But we don't judge them, right?
Yes, listen to native speakers on the street. Their sentences are full of, wait, no, I mean, it's normal.
Another reason people feel afraid is fear of being judged. Many learners imagine that native speakers are listening to every word, checking their grammar, checking their accent.
But the truth is, native speakers don't care about your mistakes. They care about understanding you. They admire you. They think, wow, you're speaking my language. That's amazing.
Yes. When I used a foreign language, people never judged me. They smiled, they helped me, they were patient. The fear was all inside my mind.
Another reason for fear is not trusting your own words. When learners speak, they think, is this right? Is my grammar correct? Am I using the right tense? And thinking too much makes speaking harder.
Yes, your brain becomes full and your mouth becomes quiet. But speaking English is not a test. It's not an exam. It's not a performance. It's a conversation, a human moment between two people.
Exactly. And conversations can be simple. You don't need big words. You don't need perfect grammar. You just need to share your thoughts.
Even short sentences are great. I think so. I don't know. Maybe later. I'm learning. These are real, natural, native-sounding sentences.
Let me share something personal. When I was afraid to speak another language, I used to practice saying small sentences alone. I stood in front of the mirror and said, "I can do this. I will try." It's okay to make mistakes. It felt strange at first, but it gave me a small courage, enough to speak one sentence, and that one sentence led to two, and then more.
That's beautiful. I did something similar. I spoke out loud when I was walking. I described things around me. I'm going to the store. That car is blue. The weather is nice today. Just small sentences. No pressure.
That's a great method. Speaking alone helps your mouth get used to English sounds. Your tongue becomes more comfortable. English no longer feels like a stranger. It feels like a friend.
And little by little, the fear becomes smaller.
Let's talk about how fear feels inside the body. Because understanding the feeling helps you control it. Fear feels like a fast heartbeat, tight shoulders, a dry mouth, a small voice, a busy mind.
Yes. When you're afraid, your body is trying to protect you. It thinks speaking is dangerous. But it's not dangerous. It's just English.
So, one way to calm the fear is to use your body. Take a slow breath. Lower your shoulders. Smile a little. These small physical actions tell your body, "It's okay. I'm safe."
And the voice becomes stronger. The mind becomes clearer. Your fear becomes softer.
Another helpful idea is to start small. Instead of a long conversation, just say one sentence. "Hello. How are you? Thank you. I don't understand. I'm learning English." Small sentences build confidence, and confidence grows like a plant, one drop of water at a time.
Yes. And celebrate small victories. If you spoke one sentence today, that's success. If you tried a new word, that's success. If you felt nervous but still tried, that's a big success.
Be kind to yourself. You're doing something brave.
And here's something many learners don't realize. Native speakers admire you more when you try, not when you're perfect.
Yes, when someone speaks to me in my language, even if it's simple or imperfect, I feel happy. I feel respected. You don't need to impress people, you just need to connect.
Before we end this part, let's give our listeners a few simple sentences they can use when they feel afraid.
Let me try. I'm learning. It's okay if it's not perfect. I want to practice.
One sentence is enough. I don't need to be perfect. I'm brave for trying.
Yes, you are brave for trying. And speaking English is a journey, not a race.
In part 2, we'll talk about practical strategies to reduce fear, build confidence, and speak English with more ease and comfort. Welcome back to part 2, everyone. In the last part, we talked about why people feel afraid to speak English. Fear of mistakes, fear of judgment, fear of sounding strange. Now, in this part, we're going to talk about how you can slowly overcome that fear using simple, everyday strategies. And trust me, these strategies work for real learners, not just in theory.
Yes, and everything we share today is something we've seen with students again and again. People go from being silent and nervous to speaking slowly, softly, and proudly. Confidence doesn't fall from the sky, it grows from habits. And we're going to build those habits today.
Actually, I want to start with something very simple. You don't need to feel confident before you speak. Confidence comes from speaking, not the other way around. Many learners think, I will speak when I feel ready. But truthfully, you feel ready after you speak, not before.
Yes. Confidence is like walking into cold water. You don't wait until you love the water. You step in, just a little, and your body slowly adjusts. And soon it feels normal.
That's a perfect example. So let's start with our first strategy. Small, safe practice every day. Not big, difficult conversations, not 30 minutes of speaking, just a few sentences.
Yes, you can start with something like, I am cooking dinner. I am washing the dishes. I'm going to work. It's sunny today. These simple sentences get your mouth moving in English.
And your brain learns speaking English is okay. I'm safe. Your fear becomes smaller because your brain sees that nothing bad happens when you speak.
And something magical happens when you speak small sentences every day. Your voice becomes less shy. Your tongue learns the sounds. Your mouth becomes familiar with English. That makes fear weaker.
Now, let's talk about the shadowing technique, which is one of the best tools to remove fear. Shadowing simply means listen to someone speaking. Repeat what they say. Copy the rhythm, tone, and speed.
And guess what? You can shadow us. That's why we speak slowly and warmly. You can pause the audio, repeat after us, and practice your confidence at home.
Here's a simple example for shadowing. I can speak English. I will try. It's okay to make mistakes. I'm getting better every day.
Yes, and when you shadow, your brain receives a message. My voice can speak English. Even if you're alone in your room, it still counts. It trains your muscles like exercise.
Another powerful strategy is talk to yourself without pressure. Some learners feel silly talking to themselves, but actually, it's great training.
Yes, I talk to myself in every language I learn. I look at an object and say, "This is a cup. This is my phone. I'm drinking water." Short, simple sentences, but they build fluency.
And self-speaking removes one of the biggest fears, fear of other people. When you talk to yourself, there is no judgment, no mistakes that matter, no pressure, just practice.
And that small daily practice prepares you for real conversations. When you finally talk to someone, the words come faster. Your voice is stronger. You don't freeze.
Let's talk about another emotional strategy. Give yourself permission to be imperfect.
This is so important. Many learners think, I must speak perfectly. But perfection kills confidence. It makes your mouth silent.
Yes. When you demand perfection, your brain becomes afraid of every mistake. But when you say, I am allowed to be imperfect, your voice becomes free.
And imperfection is natural. We all start imperfect. Even children learning their first language are imperfect for years, and nobody expects them to be perfect.
Exactly. You are allowed to speak slowly. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to forget words. You are allowed to make mistakes. This is how language is learned.
Here's a simple sentence you can tell yourself. I don't need to speak perfectly. I only need to speak.
Now, let's talk about the fear of native speakers. Many learners feel nervous speaking to people whose first language is English.
Yes, they imagine native speakers judging them. But in reality, native speakers are happy you're trying. They don't expect perfect grammar. They don't expect a perfect accent. They only expect communication.
I've met hundreds of English learners who were afraid and then surprised when a native speaker smiled, listened patiently, and encouraged them.
I used to say something wrong in another language, and the person would still understand me. And sometimes they even said, "Your accent is cute." That changed everything for me.
Yes, accents are beautiful. They show your story, your culture, your journey. Your accent is not a problem. It's a gift.
Your job is not to hide your accent. Your job is to communicate clearly. And you can do that even with an accent. All English accents are normal.
Let's talk about another practical strategy. Use easy English. You don't need difficult vocabulary to sound confident. In fact, simple words are more natural.
Yes, instead of saying, I am uncertain of the correct procedure, you can simply say, I'm not sure what to do.
Instead of saying, I desire to obtain a beverage, just say, I want a drink.
Simple English is powerful English. It's easier for you and easier for others to understand.
And remember, native speakers use simple English every day. Most daily conversations are made of short, easy words.
Now, let's talk about slow speaking. When you feel afraid, slow down your speed. Speak calmly. Take your time.
Yes, many learners think speaking fast makes them sound fluent. But actually, speaking fast makes mistakes more likely, and it increases fear. Speaking slowly is clear, confident, and natural.
And it gives you time to think. When you speak slowly, your brain and mouth work together peacefully. You don't panic. So remember, slow is strong, slow is confident, slow is natural. Now let's teach a powerful mindset that changes everything. English is not a test, it's connection.
Yes, speaking English is not about getting 100% correct. It's about sharing your ideas. It's about building relationships, making friends, asking questions, learning new things.
When you remember that, fear becomes softer. You realize, I don't need perfect English to connect with people.
And connection is always more important than correctness.
Before we end part 2, let's give our listeners a few confidence-building sentences they can repeat.
I am allowed to make mistakes. I can speak slowly. I don't need perfect grammar. I am learning, and that's enough.
My voice matters. I can try again. Fear will not stop me. I am becoming more confident every day.
Beautiful. These simple sentences can transform your speaking experience.
In part 3, we'll talk about real-life situations where fear appears, how to manage those moments, and how to keep speaking even when your mind feels blank.
And we'll also give you a long, natural conversation to shadow to help your voice grow stronger and braver. Welcome to part 3, everyone. You've made it to the final part of our episode. And today, we're going even deeper. We'll talk about real moments when fear hits, what to do when your mind goes blank, what to do when someone doesn't understand you, and how to keep speaking even when you feel nervous inside.
Yes, this part is very important because this is real life. We all study English, but when we go outside, when we talk to real people, suddenly fear can appear, even if we practiced a lot at home.
And that's okay. Fear doesn't mean you're weak. Fear doesn't mean you're bad at English.
Fear is just your brain trying to protect you. But you don't need protection. You just need support and understanding.
So let's imagine real situations where people feel afraid. The first one is very common. Your mind goes blank.
Yes, you're ready to speak. Someone asks you a question and suddenly, nothing. No words. Your brain feels empty. You freeze.
I think every learner experiences this. And the important thing is to remember blank moments are normal. They happen even in your first language. Your mind needs a moment to think.
So, what can you do when your mind goes blank? Use simple sentences like, give me a moment. 1 second. I need a little time.
These sentences are powerful. They give you space. They relax your brain. They tell the other person, I'm thinking, please wait. And people understand that.
And once you take a small pause, the words come back. Your mind opens again.
Another situation that scares learners is, what if someone doesn't understand me?
Yes, many learners think, if they don't understand me, I will feel embarrassed. But actually, communication is a two-person job. It is not your responsibility alone.
If someone doesn't understand you, it doesn't mean your English is wrong. It could be noise around you. It could be the other person is distracted. It could be your accent is new to them.
You can simply say, I'll say it another way, or I'll try again.
Or, I mean, and you explain it with simple words. For example, if you forget the word restaurant, you can say, the place where we eat, the place with food, and the person will say, oh, a restaurant.
Yes, that is real communication. Native speakers do this all the time. Describing things is natural and effective.
Another big fear is speaking to groups. Not just one person, but 2, 3, or more. That can feel scary because more people are listening.
But remember, groups don't listen in the same way individuals do. In a group, people are talking, thinking, laughing. They're not focused on your grammar. They just want to understand your idea.
And you don't need to speak long sentences. Short sentences are great in groups. Yeah, I agree. That's interesting. I think so. I'm not sure. I like that idea.
Yes, these are natural group expressions. You don't need a big speech. You just need a small contribution.
Now let's talk about the moment many people fear the most. The moment when you make a mistake.
Mistakes are not failures. Mistakes are bridges. They help you cross from learning to fluency.
And when you make a mistake, it's not the mistake that matters. It's the reaction. Here are some helpful reactions. Oh, sorry. I mean, let me say it again. What I want to say is, these sentences help you correct yourself without stress.
And correcting yourself is a sign of confidence, not fear. It shows that you're aware, you're learning, and you're brave enough to continue.
Let's imagine a real situation. You're ordering food, and the waiter asks, "What would you like?" You know what you want, but suddenly you're nervous and say something wrong.
A simple reaction is, "Oh, sorry. I mean the chicken, please." People will smile and say, "No problem," because it is no problem.
Yes, mistakes in daily life are tiny. People forget them in seconds, but learners often keep them in their minds for days.
Let the mistake go. Let it be small. It doesn't define you.
Another powerful strategy is something I call smiling English. When you smile before speaking, your voice becomes softer, your body relaxes, your breathing calms, and people respond with warmth.
Yes, a smile is not language, but it communicates trust, friendliness, and confidence. It makes speaking easier for you and listening easier for others.
So, before speaking English, try this. Take a slow breath. Drop your shoulders. Smile just a little. Then speak.
These 3 small steps change your body. And when your body is calm, your mind becomes open. Fear cannot live in a relaxed body.
Now I want to talk about the most dangerous myth. I need perfect grammar before I can speak English.
No, absolutely not. This belief stops people from speaking for years.
Grammar improves by speaking. Speaking does not improve by waiting. If a child waited until they had perfect grammar, they would never speak.
Yes, kids make hundreds of mistakes, but they speak anyway, and that's why they improve so fast.
You can do the same. Your English doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be alive. It needs to move. It needs to try.
And that means speaking now, not someday.
Now, let's talk about what to do when fear appears in the middle of a conversation. Maybe you start speaking and suddenly feel nervous.
Here's what you do. Slow down, pause. Take one small breath, then continue with a short sentence.
For example, if you're explaining something and you lose your words, you can say, "Sorry, one moment," or "I'm thinking," or "Let me try again."
These sentences are natural, friendly, and common. People won't think you're nervous. They'll think you're just taking your time.
Now, let's talk about building bravery. Bravery is not the absence of fear. Bravery is speaking even when fear is present.
Yes, brave people feel fear too, but they act anyway. Every time you speak English, even a small sentence, you are being brave.
And the more you speak, the braver you become. Fear becomes smaller. Your voice becomes stronger. Your confidence grows naturally.
English becomes a friend, not a test.
Before we finish today's episode, we want to give you a full, natural, easy conversation to shadow. This will help your voice practice courage.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. I'm learning English.
That's great. Your English is clear.
Thank you. I'm still nervous, but I want to try.
That's okay. Take your time. Speak slowly.
Can you repeat that, please?
Of course. No problem.
Give me a moment. Okay. I want to say,
Yes. Go ahead. I'm listening.
I'm not afraid. I'm learning.
That's perfect.
This small dialogue holds everything you need: courage, patience, honesty, and effort.
Remember, your English journey is not about perfection. It's about connection, growth, and self-belief.
Every time you speak one sentence, you grow. Every time you try again, you grow. Every time you choose courage over fear, you grow.
And we're here with you. Every step.
Thank you for listening to the Learning Slow English podcast.
Take care, everyone. Speak bravely. Speak slowly. Speak kindly to yourself.
See you next time.
Goodbye.